So in this video I'm going to show you how to do this very simple but effective join, and I'm going to do join as you go method, which means all 4 of these motifs, or any number of motifs that you want to join, all joined in one continuous sequence, so there's only 2 ends to sew in no matter how many motifs you are joining. I accidentally used 1 hook size bigger than I did for the motifs, so this little swatch, this has been washed and blocked, and it's merino wool, so it has got stitch memory and it's opened up beautifully, but actually this is a little bit more open than yours might be, just because I've used slightly too big a hook, but I think it still looks really nice. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. You need to use the same size hook that you used to make your motifs. So I'm demonstrating with 4 motifs, but of course you could use any number of motifs. You just use the same process. However, the only thing you do need to do is have them ready made, because we're going to join them all in one go, obviously. So have them laid out. If you've got different colours that you want in a particular order, make sure you've laid them out in the correct order. Mine are all the same colour, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to start here, crochet around here, up here to this 3rd corner, then I'm going to go over to here, and then as I crochet around this, as I crochet the border on this side, I'm going to join it to this side. Then I go along here without joining, no joining, no joining, no joining. Continue the border, I go across the top of those 2, across the top of this one, and then I start doing the border on this one. Then I go up here, and then as I do the border on this one, I'm going to be joining it to this one. When I get here, I join in the corner where they are all joined. Then I start doing this side whilst joining it to this side at the same time. Crochet along there, crochet along there, crochet along there and back there. So don't worry if you didn't get all that, just follow what I'm doing and you'll be fine. So I'm going to start between the first set of 3 double crochet clusters on this side. I'm going to join the yarn, pull up a loop, chain 1 and 1 single crochet in the same space. So you need to use the same hook size that you use to make your motifs. So that's a single crochet between the first set of clusters. That is a UK double. Then I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to single crochet between the next set of clusters. Chain 4. Now I'm going to make a corner in the chain 2 space. I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 4, single crochet. That's our corner section. Single crochet, chain 4, single crochet. So it's a very simple sequence. Chain 4s, did 5 there. I'm talking and filming. Chain 4, single between the clusters. Chain 4, single between the clusters. Chain 4, single in the chain 2 space, in the corner space. Chain 4, single back in the space. So every now and then you just need to double check where you're at in relation to your other motif. So I need to still go up here, and when I get to that corner I'm going to do something different. So just this one side, chain 4, single, chain 4, single, chain 4. Now in this corner, the next corner, you're only going to make half a corner. So half a corner is 1 single and chain 2, because a full corner is a single and a chain 4, so half a corner is single, chain 2. Check where we are. We're here. I'm now ready to join onto this one. So I'm going to start with half a corner, so half a corner going back the other way is chain 2, and then any corner any corner from this motif, single crochet in that corner. So what you've done is a half corner in there. Now as you make the border on this corner, you're going to join it to this side of this one, and you are always going to be joining halfway through one of your chain 4s. So you're going to do chain 2, then you're going to do a drop loop join. So remove the loop from the hook, put the hook in the chain 4 space, so make sure it's coming through from the right side of the fabric, put the loop back on the hook, put it through, and then chain 2, and then single crochet. So going back to motif B, so this is your second motif, you're going to single crochet between the next set of clusters. So let's have a look what we've done there. We've got a partial corner that we'll finish off later, and we've just done, take the hook out to make it easier to see, we did single crochet, chain 2, drop loop join, chain 2, single crochet. So it's the same sequence of chain 4 single crochets, except midway between each chain 4, i.e. chain 2, you're going to drop loop join in the corresponding chain 4 on the other motif. Chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, drop loop join, chain 2, and now we're doing a corner. Single into the corner. Have a look what we're doing there. Looking really nice. Done a single in the corner, and now I'm going to do a full corner because I'm going round this corner. These corners here we didn't go round because we went along and then we stopped and jumped to the next side, so we didn't make a full corner, we only made a half corner there. Here we're making a full corner because we're going to travel back along the edge of this, our second motif. So same principle, chain 2, but this time you're going to slip stitch. So for corners we're always going to do a slip stitch and not a drop loop join. Drop loop join doesn't offer enough stability for a corner. The corner is going to have 4 motifs joining into one point, so we need it something a bit stronger there. Slip stitch. So slip stitch is we're going into the stitch and we're just pulling up a loop. That is our slip stitch. Now I need to finish off that corner because we've only done half a corner and a join. So we do chain 2 and then single crochet back into the same corner space. So let's have a look where we're at now. Should be looking like this. So now this is our motif B, or motif number 2, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to carry on along that edge, which is the second edge, the third edge and the fourth edge, doing these corners, and then when I get to this side we're going to do something slightly different. So let's proceed. Chain 4, single. I'm just going to speed up a bit now because you know what's going on. Okay, so we're here. I'm coming to the point where I did the half corners in each of these, so I'm going to show you what to do to finish off both these corners. Chain 4, back into this corner, I'm going to do a single, then a chain 2, so basically half a corner, and then in this chain 2 space, a chain 4 space that I ended up with when I switched motifs, I'm just going to slip stitch. And now my top tip for you now at this point is to get a locking stitch marker and put it through front loop back loop of that slip stitch you have just made, and that's to help you identify that slip stitch when you come to join the next 2 motifs, because every single corner join must go into that one slip stitch. Let's finish off the corner on motif, this corner on motif A or motif 1, chain 2 and single into the corner space. So let's have a quick look. So what you can see is that we've now finished off both these corners. I'm now ready to proceed along the rest of this edge of motif A. When I come to this corner, I'm going to do a half corner, and then I'm going to jump to this motif and I'm going to do a half corner in there, and then I'm going to do the side of this and join it to this one at the same time. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now a half corner, single, chain 2. Now ready to join the next motif. So again, we start with a half corner but going back the opposite direction, so chain 2 and single into any corner of that motif. And so if I orientate it this way, so these are obviously upside down now, but I need to work along this edge. I'm going to make the border and join it to the top of motif A. So same process, chain 2, drop loop join, chain 2, drop loop join. So if you're getting into a bit of a muddle, just make sure you've got everything in the same orientation as what I'm doing, and that will help you to, you know, get your head around it. And also make sure you're doing this on a table or a flat surface with good light. It's much easier than just trying to do it on your lap. So I've done the same process here, where in the middle of every chain 4 I've done a drop loop join, i.e. 2 chains, drop loop, 2 chains. So I'm now ready to do the next corner here, single in there, chain 2, slip stitch into this, the very first slip stitch of this corner intersection, and I have put my stitch marker in there just to make sure I'm always going into the same one, because that's what makes all the difference between how neat it looks. Doesn't want to go, gonna have to persuade it. Manage this. Actually, this hook isn't great for this wool, but we'll get by. Okay, so then next up I need to finish off this corner with a chain 2. So remember, we're always mirroring what we do. If we start with a single and a chain 2, then a slip stitch, then we need to go back the other way, chain 2, single. So let's have a quick look. So we're now back to here. So as you can see, this corner is already looking really nice, because I've put the second slip stitch in exactly the same slip stitch for the very first join. So don't worry if it's all puckering a bit, because that will sort itself out. So now I'm just going to crochet up the side of this motif in the normal pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, single between the clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, single between the clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into this corner space I'm going to do a single and a half corner, because I'm getting ready now to join the final motif for my section anyway. So again, we're going to do a half corner but working in the mirror of what we've just done. Chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 corner space, And now I'm working the border on this side, and at the same time joining it to that side. Chain 2, top loop join, chain 2, single, chain 2, top loop join, chain 2, single, chain 2, top loop join. Just always make sure you're doing it in the adjacent space of the other motif. If it's not looking right, you've probably accidentally joined into the wrong bit. So in this corner I'm going to do a corner join. So I've done a single, chain 2, and now again we're slip stitching back into that exact same slip stitch where I've got the stitch marker. So obviously this is the fourth motif, the third join, so I don't need that anymore once I've got my hook in there. And pull up a loop for a slip stitch, and then chain 2 to finish that corner, and a single crochet back into chain space. So let's have a quick look. That is looking really nice. So now I'm ready to complete this side whilst joining to this motif, and this is all dead easy. You'll probably know exactly what to do now. So chain 2, drop loop join to the corresponding space on that motif, chain 2, single in the cluster, chain 2, drop loop join, chain 2, single between the clusters, chain 2, drop loop join, chain 2, single in the chain 2 space, chain 2, and I'm going to join in this corner. So slip stitch join, there's the corner, I'm just going straight in there with my hook, slip stitch, chain 2 for the other side of the corner, and single. So let's just have a quick look what that's looking like. So obviously I haven't washed and blocked this yet because I'm using wool. That will open up really nicely once washed and blocked. But I think you'll agree it's quite a nice join because it's not too open. It sort of goes really nicely with this. I think that's why it's, you know, traditionally been quite popular join for sweaters and stuff. Let's do chain 4 and carry on in pattern. So I'm going to carry on now. I'm going to go up this last motif, across the top of it, do the corner here. I'll show you how to do that again. Normal corners here, go along here, and then finish. So pretty straightforward. I'm not going to do it I'm just going to do it normal pace for me. So it's such a simple pattern repeat with the single and the chain 4s. It's pretty intuitive. I mean, the joins, this hook is not loving this yarn, or this yarn's not loving the hook. I don't know which way you would see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy to find where you're going because it's just between the clusters. Nothing very complicated. Here we come to this partial corner section. We need to finish off this corner, single into that corner, half a corner, which is another chain 2, slip stitch into this chain 4 space, chain 2, and now I want to finish off the corner on this motif, so straight back into that corner with a single and back to pattern 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, corner, single, chain 4, single, chain 4 for this last side. Coming back to the beginning now. So it's pretty quick as well compared to some of them. I think this would be quite nice for blankets, summer sweaters. Let's finish off these 2 partial corners. So back into this first one with a single, chain 2, slip stitch in the chain 4 space, chain 2, back into this corner with a single, chain 4, and into this very first single I'm going to slip stitch. So I actually always end up with that last loop being too big when I do that, so I always do chain 3 and then slip stitch, and I just think it's because that slip stitch creates a little bit of length there. It's up to you, that's your own personal preference. Scissors, cut the yarn over, pull through, fasten off. This needs to be washed and blocked. So of course this is the piece I showed you at the beginning, and this is a piece that has been washed and blocked, and as you can see, because of the kind of mesh type join, I mean it is basically a mesh join because it's just chains and singles, it gives the fabric really good drape, and it doesn't add too much extra weight to your motifs.